Hello, and welcome to our second episode of Cozy Talks. My name is Zahias.
And I'm Joe.
Like I said, this is our second episode of Cozy Talks. We are here to talk about Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis. If you haven't already, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on the video and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. And let's get started with the early prelims.
Yeah, first fight of the night. Let's see. We got
Is it Ali by
Idiris?
Idris
Yeah.
Joseph Morales?
Yeah.
I got Alibi Idiris on this fight.
Yeah, it was weird. Looking online, it was kind of weird. It was kind of hard to find anything on this guy. His age is like unknown. He is fighting out of Kazakhstan though.
He's coming from Ryzen, isn't he?
I don't know where he's coming from.
Oh, I thought that was Ryzen. That's the
No, yeah, it's whatever regional scene they got over there. Yeah, my pick here as well was Alibi Idris. Reason being, Idris is 10-0. He has 6 of those by finish, 4 of those coming in the first round. He's making his UFC debut. Like I said, he was unknown on a lot of other platforms. Like I couldn't tell if he was 9-0 or 10-0. I ended up finding out he's 10-0, so his record is correct. Morales, he has had a stint in the UFC before. He was in the UFC back in 2017. He fought Figueiredo and Eric Shelton. Lost to both those guys. He went 1-2 in his run. He has 6 wins by sub. He has not fought in 2.5 years, which I think is a big red flag. I mean, I don't know if he was retired or if he just was out with an injury or what was going on. He does train at Team Alpha Male though, which is Uriah Faber's gym. Guys like that fight there, Andre Philly, who we just saw fight on the card on Saturday night. Song Yadong and Josh Emmett are also some other notable guys that train in that gym. What about you? What do you got to say about that?
I don't see Joseph Morales winning this at all. He's coming, like you're saying, he's coming off that 2.5 year layoff, and his most recent win was against Anthony Doe. But he doesn't have that good of a record either. Prior to fighting Joseph Morales, he lost his fight and then went on to lose 2 more fights after he fought Joseph Morales, and I don't see Joseph Morales winning this fight at all. If you go and look at Alibi's record, he is a finisher. He has a lot of finishes on his record. Joseph Morales, like you were talking about, he's already been in the UFC. He got cut, and now he's coming back off of a 3-fight win streak on the regional scene. But I just don't think Joseph Morales has what it takes to beat Alibi Idris. And these dudes, these kind of like dark horse kind of guys who come out of these countries that end with Stan. I mean,
the Stan fighters.
They're kind of like I said, they're dark horses, man. And I mean, this guy might come in here and just completely ragdoll or just finish Joseph Morales. So, but like you were saying, like a lot of his information is kind of low key. You can't even find his birth date. So
yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
but my pick here is Alibi Idris, and look out for a possible finish.
Yeah, you see KO. I see KO. I think it's gonna play out on the feet.
KO.
Yeah. Moving on. Next fight, we got Silva versus Dione Barbosa. This is a short notice fight. It was originally supposed to be JJ Aldrich versus Silva. So Barbosa is stepping in on short notice. I don't know how short notice. I think they announced the injury about a month ago. So she's been in camp for a little bit. She has a little bit of time. My pick here is Silva.
My pick here would be Silva money line or this fight to go the distance. But Silva money line, I would put it on that.
Yeah, Silva, she's ranked number 11 right now in the flyweight division. She's 18-5. She trains at Fighting Nerds. She is coming off a loss to Viviane Araujo, I think is how you say it, via unanimous decision earlier this year. She does have a win over another young gal, Catlin Souza. She submitted her. Diana Barbosa, she's 8-3. She has a loss to Miranda Maverick via unanimous decision. She's coming off a win versus Diana Belbita via arm triangle in the first round. And another notable thing about her, she was knocked out by Josiana Nunez. We know Josiana Nunez. She's built like the little Ninja Turtle. She has had she's kind of had a rough go in her UFC run. This was back in 2019, however, so a little asterisk there. It's kind of an older fight when they're a little younger in their career. So yeah.
Yeah, both these girls are really good on the ground. They both got more than 2 finishes on their career, so I see this fight being kind of a dog fight and kind of like a back and forth chess match. But I believe with the level of competition that Silva has faced, and then like this being kind of a short notice fight for Diane Barbosa, I think Silva's going to take the win here.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you there. Let's move on. Next fight. This is going to be a freaking banger fight, man. I'm
excited for this fight.
This is one of the fights I'm excited for. So we got Nursultan Ruziboev versus Brian Battle. A thing that I'll note about this fight, Brian Battle, he was fighting down a weight class. This is I think it's his debut at middleweight. I don't know if he's fought here in the past prior to this, but
he's usually welterweight, correct?
Yeah, before this he was fighting at welterweight for quite a while. I think what made him decide to move up was he had his last fight against Randy Brown where he did miss weight, came in a little bit heavier on the scales. But Brian Battle, I mean, the Butcher, you just can't you can't count against the Butcher, man. He's an animal. He's dangerous everywhere, on the ground, on the feet. He's 12-2 right now. He's on a 4-fight win streak, and he did have one no contest against Angelusa, so that kind of rounds out his last 5. He can win anywhere. He's very well rounded, like I said. He has good clinch work and he has a good ground game. Ruziboev on the other side of this, we saw him fight in Seattle back in February. He had a short notice opponent, Eric McConico, who another guy we just saw fight on Seattle or on Seattle's card as well as on Saturday. Ruziboev is a guy who has a lot of finishes. He's 36-9. He's not a guy.
Finisher.
Oh yeah, he has freaking 13 wins by knockout and 20 by sub. 7 of his 9 losses are by decision. So he's a guy who likes to get it done early, and if it sees the scorecards, he's probably gonna be on the wrong side of the scorecards. So I think he'll try to get it done inside the distance. But Brian Battle, he's a gritty guy. He's not gonna let you run around on him. So my pick here, I don't know if I said already, is the Butcher. He's fighting up a weight that will probably allow him to feel a little bit better. He's gonna be a little bit more full. So yeah, give me the Butcher.
My pick here is the Butcher as well. Possible knockout as well. Like you were talking about Ruziboev, he's a finisher. But I don't think he's dealt and seen with the level of competition like Brian Battle. I think Brian Battle is going to be coming into this fight too with a little bit of a grudge because I'm pretty sure he talked about that fight against Randy Brown. He was a little disappointed. He was most definitely looking for that finish, and I mean everyone thought that fight was going to end by some type of finish. Whether it had been Brown or Battle. So I think he's going to be coming in here with a lot of confidence as well. And I don't know if you've seen, but Brian Battle posted on his Instagram, when he was training, he was aura farming.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep, like little boat kid.
Yeah. So I mean, I think Brian Battle's going to be coming in here with a lot of confidence. So my pick is Brian Battle, but look out for that finish.
Yeah. I think both guys are alive for a finish here. I like Brian Battle. I think if it goes to the scorecards, Brian Battle by decision. But I think anything is possible inside the distance with these guys. Both guys are going to come in hot.
100%.
All right, moving on. Next fight, we got Edson Barbosa versus Drakkar Klose. This fight, you got anything on this fight, Z?
I got Barbosa, man. I got Edson Barbosa. You know, the reason being is I don't see Close winning this fight unless it's by a finish. I mean, I don't think Close does have the hands. He does have that power as well, but Edson Barbosa, you know, he just went the full 5 rounds with the guy who's fighting in the main or in the co-main.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I
Lerone Murphy.
Lerone? Yeah, I don't know why. Lerone Murphy.
You're
Yeah,
good,
you know,
you're good.
he just went full 5 rounds with Lerone Murphy,
Yeah.
and you know, he's next in line for a title shot if he wins his fight. But Barbosa, you know, for being 39 years old, I believe he still has it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Barbosa can get it done here. And maybe we might see vintage Barbosa, man. Maybe
Dude,
we
I'm
might see
hoping.
some crazy. Maybe we might see some crazy spinning kicks. Because I mean, he's the guy. He's the guy. So
Yeah.
yeah, my pick here would be Barbosa money line.
Yeah, my pick here as well is Barbosa. This is one of those classic striker versus wrestler matchups. Barbosa is coming in so far as the favorite at 39 years old. He is an insane kickboxer. He is 2-5 in his last 5 with wins over younger guys with good records, Sadiq Yusuf and Billy Quarantillo. Sorry. He's coming off of a unanimous decision L to Lerone Murphy, like you just said. He's been in the UFC for 15 years. You know, he's a guy with a lot of longevity. He is a legend of the sport. He's been around since the early days. He's coming up against a guy, Drakkar Klose, who's a lightweight. So I think this is taking place at lightweight. I think Barbosa's fighting up a weight class, if I remember right.
Barbosa's a lightweight.
Is he a lightweight? Okay, I thought for some reason he was down a weight class. Well, anyway, Klose is a lightweight. He's coming out on a winning streak before he had his knockout loss to Joel Alvarez earlier this year. He is coming in as the significantly shorter guy, and he's coming also in at a reach disadvantage. He's 37 years old. He's been in the UFC since 2017, so he's another guy who's been in the UFC for quite a while. So yeah, I think the pick here is Barbosa. I'm really hoping we get a vintage Barbosa. I mean, he hangs around with these young guys. He's not no slouch. I'm just hoping he can get it done.
Yep, 100%. I got Barbosa on this.
Yeah.
And for our next fight, we got Chase Hooper and Anthony Hernandez or Alexander Hernandez.
Dude.
Sorry, I'm getting confused with last night's card.
The trauma.
We're really excited for this. Really excited for this. Chase Hooper's local boy, fighting out of Enumclaw, Washington. I don't know. What do you think, Joe? I think Chase Hooper gets it done with inside the distance by submission. I think Chase Hooper's ground game is just something to behold.
Yeah. I think this really. My pick's Chase Hooper. I think this is a layup fight for him, to be honest with you. I think he gets this win here, and I think he calls out his top 15 shot, makes his way into the lightweight rankings. I mean, he's right there. He's a borderline guy right now, as is. So yeah, I mean, this feels like a layup for Chase. But Alexander Hernandez, he's on a 2-fight win streak versus guys like Kurt Hollabaugh and Austin Hubbard. Beat both guys by decision. He did lose to Damon Jackson and Bill Algeo, a couple of guys, with that veteran experience and some big records. He's going to be the significantly shorter fighter. He's coming in at 5'9". Chase Hooper's 6'1". He's 8-7 in his UFC career right now. He has 6 KO wins. On the other side, we got Chase Hooper. He's a grappling freak, a gooner. he has been on a tear since his loss to Steve Garcia back in 2022. He's grown into a more rounded fighter. We know he has good ground game, but as we see, he's growing into his striking game as well. I expect him to show levels here, and I expect to finish. I'll be pretty disappointed if this goes to the scorecards. I think for Chase to get his top 15 shot and get a good fight for him, he needs to get the finish here. So
he was chasing for it when he was fighting Jim
Miller. Yeah. And before that, he fought Clay Guida, who we already had a grappling match with before, and beat him in the grappling match as well. Just give me Chase Hooper inside the distance. This will be one of the fights I call the prop on.
Every time we see Hooper, man, he's always improved in some type of way, shape or form.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, he is a gooner.
That gooner. Yeah, right.
Hopefully he hasn't gooned too much this camp, and he's well hydrated.
Yeah.
And he could find the finish from Alexander Hernandez.
Yeah.
But Hernandez, though, he does have a weird record where he wins and loses.
Yeah, he's very up and down.
Yeah, he won his last 2 fights by decision, so I think he's due for a loss here, and I'm gonna take Chase Hooper, and I believe Chase Hooper can get it done inside the distance.
Yeah, I like it. Moving on, we got Jessica Andrade versus Lupita Godinez.
If you want, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is
going back and forth.
Yeah. This is a strawweight bout. We got 2 gals. Jessica Andrade. She's only 33, man. You would think she's been in the UFC a lot longer. It's crazy to think that she was a champion at one point, and is now kind of feeling like the gatekeeper of this division. She kind of floats between the bantamweight and the strawweight and the strawweight and the bantamweight division. She keeps kind of alternating it in her fights. She's been getting dealt the cream of the crop lately. She fought Natalia Silva, who is soon to be the next title challenger. And she also fought Jasmine Jasovicius, who is fighting in Vancouver. We will be at that card, guys, by the way. So if you see us there, feel free to say hi. We'd love to meet you guys. And yeah, she's only 33 years old, man. She's looking to stay active. She has been active. I think this is her 3rd fight in the last year. On the other side, we got Lupi. Lupi's coming off of a win versus Julia Palastri. That's a pretty big win. She won via unanimous decision. She had that viral moment in that fight where she said she had to take a shit, and that was pretty funny at the time.
Have you ever done something while you had to take a shit? Imagine having a fight while taking a shit. That's
us pulling up to the job site, man.
Lupi
nicotine and coffee.
I'm pretty sure it was in like at the end of round 2. She told her corner, like, I gotta take a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they
you gotta fight a 3rd round.
You gotta win this fight. Then you gotta go and win this fight. And then after the fight, they tried to do an interview, and she was like, I gotta take a shit.
Yeah, but, I mean, man, we've seen moments like that inside the octagon before. There are moments you just got to look them up if you want to look them up. I don't want to look them up. I don't want to see poop on the mat, but it's cool. It has happened inside the UFC before, though, so that is a thing. My pick in this one's Lupi. She is a decision machine. I expect her to grind it out and move up in the rankings eventually. But yeah, what about you, Z? What do you got?
I got Lupi winning this fight, but like I said, it was real back and forth because, Andrade, man, she's a brawler. She's a brawler, and she's just a tank, and she's still kind of in her prime.
She should be. 33 years old.
Yeah, and she's really active. That's another thing too. Is Andrade is really active. There's probably not like she has more than 2 fights a year.
Yeah,
and I just sorry, I'm kind of whiffing it right here.
You're good.
Andrade though, she just lost to 2 fighters who are in the talk for title contention. I mean, Silva just went and fought Alexa Grasso, just beat Alexa Grasso.
Mm-hmm. Very convincingly.
I think Andrade, there is always a striker's chance. But Lupi, she's really good on the ground, and she has really good boxing as well. I just hope Lupi doesn't really make mistakes, because she has made a couple of mistakes in her previous fights. But I believe if Lupi doesn't have to take a shit during this fight, and she can do everything, I think Lupi could take the win here. So. Yep.
I agree with you. Let's move on. Next fight, we got Gerald GM3 Meerschaert versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. What do you got, Z?
I got my call by KO, bro. I got McCall. I'm calling it. McCall KO here.
My pick's GM3. I'll get to
Really?
I'll get to it. I'll let you say your side first.
I just think McCall is kind of locked in here. I mean, he's training with the Fighting Nerds now.
Yeah.
The Fighting Nerds is a really good gym. You know, not only are they good like with training physically, but they do a lot of study. They do a lot of study and they do a lot of research, and they practice that. So I mean, McCall, I haven't really seen him grapple wrestle a whole lot. Um, but I think what they're doing down there at Fighting Nerds. I think McCall is going to be prepared for that, and we'll see another. We'll see another KO here if he could keep the fight standing. That is,
Yeah.
if he's improved his ground game, where he could easily shut down a GM Jared Meerschaert and find the win. I think he also has a little bit something to prove here. He's been kind of dealt the short end of the stick. Lost to Kyle, lost to Michelle Pereira, Shara, and Kevin Holland. So I mean, um, I think this is it for him too. Not like this is it, as in like he's gonna get cut, but like, I mean, you're getting a vet. You just fought another contender. You know, Cedricus Dumas, but you're getting dealt a vet here. I think you got something to prove here.
Mhm.
So McCall by KO.
All right, I like the call. Yeah, it's a middleweight bout here. I look at it and GM3, he's not no slouch. He's still in the UFC for a reason because he's always in the fights late. There's always the chance for him later in these fights. He does have a loss to RDR, who is now in the top 10. And he also lost to Hamzat by KO a few years ago. And most recently lost to Brad Tavares, which was a pretty lame fight. If I'm gonna be pretty blunt with that, he is a submission artist, however, and he will make you pay if you fall him to the ground. He does. I think he has like 20 submission wins or something. He's that guy. You don't want to go to the ground with GM3, unless you think you can pull off some cheese. He will have the longer reach in this matchup, but I think is another thing we got to note here. Mikal, like you said, he's been training at Fighting Nerds. He's been trying to get his grappling better. He had his back against the wall before he was in his last fight. He was on a 3-fight losing streak before he got that TKO win over Cedricus. That was 4 months ago. He is a KO artist. He has, I think it was like 15 wins by knockout. So this is one of those fights that I'll say is just like it's not really wrestler, but submission artist versus striker. I think if I were to take shots on this one, I would take like Mikal round 1, and then maybe sprinkle on like GM3 round 3, round 2 if it gets to those later rounds. Look for some live odds. If GM3 somehow wins the first round, maybe look at money line on whatever side. But I think GM3 can get it done here if he can survive the early onslaught, and either get a submission win or somehow get a decision win here.
Yeah, I mean, I just think now that McCall is training with the Fighting Nerds, I think his career is just gonna go up from here.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about, like I said, he had that bad losing streak, but he was fighting good dudes. I mean, he was fighting Kyle Barallo, who's pretty much the head of the Fighting Nerds. He fought Michelle Prieto when Michelle Prieto was absolutely bonkers. He was doing backflips on dudes and fucking spinning 360s in the air and backflipping on dudes' faces.
Yeah.
I mean, like he fought Michelle Prieto when he was crazy. He fought Shara Bullet, fought Kevin Holland. I mean, nah, I think McCall has something to prove here, and what better way to do it against a veteran like GM3. So
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I just took my dog shot there. Let's move on. Next fight, we got the Unk bout. That's what I'm calling this one. Unk bout at lightweight. King Green versus Diego Ferreira. My pick here is Diego Ferreira.
yeah, I got Diego Ferreira here, man. I mean, I'm not based off of Bobby Green's, oh my bad, King Green's, past fights. I'm not I can't take that. He's been dealt too much damage. I mean, we
Yeah.
damn near saw him die against Jalen Turner. You know, ref seen him get knocked out 4 different times and just decided to call the fight after the 4th one. So
Yeah.
and then gets submitted by Patty Pimblett and then gets absolutely picture perfect wheel kicked knocked out by Mauricio Rufy. I mean, I don't see King Green winning here.
Yeah, I'm very low in confidence in King Green for this fight.
And you know, another thing to add too, you know, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you
You're
off,
good.
but you know, like what we were talking about, Bobby Green, he's never changed his fighting style, dude. He's always fought the same way. I do love the fact, I really do love the fact, and this is another reason why I feel like Bobby Green is a huge fan favorite, is because he comes in with a lot of confidence. He comes in with a lot of confidence, and he's just a fun fighter to watch. You know, he goes, you know, just hands down, chin held high, his hands just moving side to side, just ready to swing. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just like, you know, just that street fighting, you know, and like that stuff's really fun to watch. But I mean, when you're getting constantly knocked out like that, brother, you got to change something, you know, especially if you want to continue fighting. You know, we don't want to see you, you know,
Get out
5
here on
years
a
down the
stretcher,
road.
man.
Yeah, 5 years down the road, you're talking like BJ Penn, and you know it's real sad to see too. But
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I think about this fight. You know, like I said, Green's an OG. He's been in the game for a long time. I mean, his record says that. You know, this will be his 51st fight.
that's insane. 51st fight.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, he's a fan favorite.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, he fought guys like Rufy, he fought guys like Patty. You know, he's been put out in a lot of insane ways by Jalen Turner, where he got, you know, some extra blows in after he was already out. Diego Ferreira on the other side, he fought Grant Dawson 6 months ago, and if MMA Master is right, then Green should win. But you know, Diego's 19-6, and he's hung with some of the tougher guys in his division, guys like Mateusz Rebecki, who he knocked out. Which, you know, we've seen that guy go to war with Mitzvik Orlby. We've seen guys like Michael Johnson, who just won in his last fight versus Zell Huber. Ferreira KO'd both. Ferreira KO'd both Rebecki and Michael Johnson. He's gonna have the longer reach. He's gonna you know, be a little more of the rangier fighter. I hate to say it, but I think the shot here is on Diego Ferreira by knockout. You know, I don't want to see King Green go out like that again, but, you know, you're fighting a guy who has good power in his hands here. So,
Still got it.
yeah.
Still pushing 40 years old and still got it. So
Yeah, and I don't have the confidence in a guy like Bobby Green at this stage of his career. I mean, he's coming off of two tough losses, and you know, I don't expect him to bounce back.
The only way Bobby Green ever wins another fight is if he gets Jim Miller. So I mean,
yeah, UFC 300. That's right. Go fight the older guys, man. But, I mean, Ferreira is an older guy. Ferreira's older than him, but Ferreira is also the favorite in this fight. How lines have it right now, so I expect it to be you know, expected to be that way again.
I think Bobby should change his name back to Bobby.
He was a dog when he was Bobby. I think that's it for the prelims. Let's move on to the main card opener. We got Kai Asakura versus Tim Elliott. My pick here is Kai. What do you got?
I got Kai here. I got Kai here.
Yeah, how do you have this fight playing out?
I see Kai ending it. I see Kai ending it early, you know, and I see him ending it inside the distance. I mean, Tim Elliott's 38 years old. Kai just fought Pantoja. You know, before Pantoja, he was the former champion at Ryzen. He was knocking dudes out already. And another thing too, man, if Kai throws that knee that he threw on Pantoja on Elliott,
a lot of guys are going out, man.
Elliott's not eating that. Pantoja's just a different dude.
Yeah,
he's just a different dude. So give me Kai Asakura here. And another thing too is Tim Elliott's coming off a 1.5-year layoff. I think this is like another tune-up fight. You know, that like we talk about, this is a tune-up fight for Kai Asakura. I think this is a huge opportunity for Kai Asakura as well to prove that He's not just some dude that the UFC called in to fight Pantoja on short notice. You know, he's a real contender, and he's here to play. He's here to play with the top contenders. So,
Yeah.
I think this fight is, you know, shaped for Kai Asakura to fucking show the UFC fans and show that his division that, you know, he's here to play. So
Yeah.
give me Kai Asakura finishing the fight.
Yeah, I like it. A little about Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott, he's had an up and down career. Somehow he's still in the UFC. This dude's 9-11 in the UFC. He has a win over guys like Tagir Ulanbekov. I'm pretty sure Tagir trains with Khabib, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in that camp with him. He also has a win over Victor Altamirano. That guy is on a 3-fight losing streak. I'm not even sure if he's in the UFC anymore. They were both prospects at the time that Tim Elliott fought and beat them. On the other side, we got Kai Asakura. This fight, I feel like Kai Asakura should be just fucking. I think he should just feel disrespected here. I mean, I imagine he feels that way, that he's having to fight a guy who's 9-11 in the UFC in his second fight in the UFC after fighting for the belt in his debut. Like I said, this definitely feels like a tune-up fight for him. He is the former champ at Ryzen for a while. He didn't get the Pitbull treatment, where Pitbull, you know, came off a loss versus Yair, and he's still got a ranked opponent in Ige. I don't know, actually, was Ige ranked? Either way, he fought a guy, you know, who was just right on the cusp of being ranked. This just feels like, you know, it. I don't even want to say this goes to decision. I think this might be round 1, round 2 KO. I think Kai fucking comes out here and just lays the wood.
Hope so. Honestly, I really hope so.
That
would be, like I said, like you were talking about, and like I was talking about. I feel like this is
he's gonna send somebody on his way.
Yeah, this is Kai's opportunity here to just. They're literally spoon feeding him here.
Yeah.
I mean that, but I do agree with you there that if I was Kai Asakura, I'd feel pretty disrespected.
Yeah. I think this is the fight that sends Tim Elliott on his way, clears up some of that division, get some movement. Moving on, next fight in the main card.
Look at Kai though; he kind of looks like the Japanese Charles Oliveira.
He does have some aura in that pick, doesn't he? Next fight, we got Jared, the Killer Gorilla Cannonier versus MVP Michael Venom Page. Man, this is going to be a freaking banger, bro. It's at middleweight. What do you got, Z? My pick here is MVP.
I love this fight, honestly. I really do. I'm really interested in seeing this fight, you know, knowing MVP's fight style, you know, and Cannonier just being the monster that he is. 41 years old, bro, and Jared Cannonier still has that power, and he's one of the only fighters to have 3 finishes in 3 different divisions. So, I don't know. I've always liked Cannonier. I think Cannonier is just, you know, I love him as an athlete. I love him as a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a huge fan of Cannonier. I think MVP can be kind of annoying sometimes though, like with his fight style. Not only just like annoying me, but like the way he fights, you know, I feel like that would be very annoying for Jared Cannonier. You know, I feel like MVP is going to try to keep the distance and, you know, just kind of pick and choose his shots, because I feel like if Jared Cannonier were to get a hold of him, you know, MVP might be cooked, because Jared Cannonier is huge. But I got at the end of it, I got MVP winning, honestly. I love Jared Cannonier, but MVP is just a really annoying fighter, and I think this is a really bad matchup for Jared Cannonier, just based off the way MVP fights.
Yeah. You know, we've seen MVP kind of struggle with the grappling. That's how Ian Machado beat him. Was just grappling him, taking him down, holding him down. So yeah, I think if this fight stays at range, you know, a guy like MVP, he should have this in the bag. I think, you know, my thoughts on this fight. Cannonier, he's kind of being the businessman in this role. He's doing Dana White and Hunter a favor. You know, he just turned away RoboCop, you know, in a ranked fight, and he's fighting down again. I don't even think MVP is ranked, is he? If he is, I'd have to pull it up. I'm not going to pull it up right now. But
Nah, he's not.
yeah,
He's not ranked middleweight. They just show his welterweight.
yeah. So I think it's pretty absurd that he's having to do another fight like this again.
But
Um,
I don't think like I don't think win or lose this really affects Cannonier's ranking though.
no, but I feel like Cannonier, he already was a title contender. I think he wants to move up in the rankings. Guys ahead of him are they're all doing their thing. We got Kyle versus Nasruddini. Izzy's taking a break. We got the middleweights fighting in the main event tonight. There are fights to make, but I think this is just the fight that's at hand. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean Jared Cannonier is coming off of tough losses versus Kyle and Imavov, who are fighting next month, and then yeah.
Those I like that. He's losing to dudes who are future champions.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no kidding. MVP on the other side, he's that nasty kickboxer. He's got that open stance like Wonder Boy. It's karate, karate stance, but he's so elusive. He's hard to get a hold of. He's hard to even strike with. He's another older guy though. Kind of came over late in his career. He's hanging around the top 15. He just came off a win versus Shara, which was a pretty big win. Because Sharabola, he had that win versus Armin, and he looked like the guy to beat. He was starting to look like the boogeyman, but the MVP turned him away. Yeah, I think my pick is MVP. He's the longer fighter, and he's elite at managing the distance and blitzing and crashing in and getting in and out of the pocket. Cannonier's chin is a bit questionable. We've seen him rocked a few times in his fights. They have been in the later stages of the fights. Cannonier, he's used to that 5-round style of fighting right now. So having to change up the game plan and go back to a 3-round bout, it could just spell an MVP decision here. I don't see Cannonier getting knocked out in this, and if he does, then I wouldn't be surprised either. Just given the striking style.
I think I'm gonna pick flip here.
You're pick flipping, huh? Live on the show.
I think my underdog of the week is gonna be Jared Cannonier.
Yeah, you're rocking with the Killer Gorilla here, huh?
You look at his career, bro. He's only lost to dudes who were title contenders and future champs. I mean, ever since 2016, he lost to Glover Teixeira, he lost to Jan Blachowicz, he lost to Dominic Reyes, and I mean, people can argue Dominic Reyes won the belt over John Jones. But,
yeah.
I mean, look at Dominic Reyes now. Lost to Robert Whitaker, lost to Izzy, lost to Nasruddin Imavov, and lost to Kyle Barallo, who both are fighting later in the year and will 100% get a title shot.
Yeah.
So, and you can go and rewatch the Gregory Rodriguez fight. I think Cannonier can do it, bro. I got Cannonier winning.
Yeah, you think he goes for the scorecards, or you got inside the distance?
It just depends. If I feel like Cannonier can get
a hold of him.
MVP. Yeah, if he can get MVP in a clinch and he has him up against the cage, imagine Cannonier just elbowing MVP straight to his.
Just Layla Wood, man. Yep.
If not, Cannonier money line. I mean, just Cannonier's the pick here.
Yeah, I like it. Moving on, we got Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. What do you got, Z?
This whole main card is just.
This whole card in general is pretty stacked, man. We got a lot of good bouts here. A lot of good bouts that are going to get a lot of movement in the rankings.
Yeah, these are really good fights, and I'm really excited for this one. I'm a huge fan of the fighting nerds. I love all the fighting nerds. But I got Carlos Prates here. I think it'll be a really tough fight, though. I think Geoff Neal is a real durable dude. Never been knocked out. But I'm going with Prates here. And Prates is coming off that fight with Ian Gary, which, in my opinion, Prates should have won. I think Prates has learned a lot off of that last fight with Ian Gary, and I know him and um, his team have really locked in, and I think we might see Carlos Prates by knockout here.
Yeah, you calling it? All right. Yeah, this fight was already scheduled to happen earlier in the year. Neal pulled out for injury reasons, and like I said, Ian Gary came in that fight short notice and beat Prates in that main event. Prates had him hurt late in the fifth, but couldn't get it done, and ended up losing on the scorecards. Jeff Neal, I think he's the guy to beat in this division if you want to punch your ticket to the top five, even deep in the top 10. Shavkat and Ian beat him. Gary won in a close split when he did fight Jeff Neal, and Shavkat late in the third put him away via standing rear naked. He is coming off of a win right now versus RDA. He is always in the fight. He is the dog, man. I mean, he's hard to put away. Prates on the other side, I think he's gonna come into this fight pretty pissed. His Muay Thai is some of the best, and he has put guys like Charles Araki and Neil Magny away with those skills. He had Gary hurt late. I think that loss kind of gives him the motivation he needs to surge into the top of this division. He has a bit of a chip on his shoulder now. I think the fighting nerds were kind of waiting on one of them to take a loss to kind of know where they need to improve. In this stage of the game, they're all ranked guys, or they're borderline ranked guys. Rufi's about to fight Benoit in Paris. All these guys are right there in the top, and now is go time for the fighting nerds. My pick, like I said, is Prates, more than likely by finish. But putting a guy away like Jeff Neal is a big deal in this division. So, as long as he gets the win here, I think we see Prates make his leap into the top 10.
Yep.
So yeah, moving on. Co-main event of the evening. We got Aaron Pico versus Lerone Murphy. This is a short notice fight. Aaron Pico was supposed to fight Meerschaert who, I wouldn't say notoriously, but notoriously has canceled a lot of fucking bouts. He's kind of hard to keep around when he's calling out every other fight. For injury reasons or whatever the hell's going on with that guy. But this in return's a banger. Unfortunately, it's a 3-round bout. I was kind of hoping this would be a 5-rounder. We just saw that earlier today when we were looking at it. That's a 3-rounder. My pick in this one is Lerone Murphy. What do you got, Z?
I got Pico. I got Aaron Pico winning this. This is gonna be a really good fight. You got a dude who is dominant all around in Lerone Murphy, and you got a guy who's only seen the scorecards twice in his career. Pico's only 28 years old, and I do believe he's a very good prospect coming into the UFC. This is gonna be the hardest fight though for Pico. Murphy though. He's been clipped a few times though. He's been clipped a few times by Dan Ige and Josh Emmett. So I think Pico's going to be really prepared for this fight. Like I was saying, Lerone Murphy is real dominant all around. He's a real well-rounded fighter. Is what I was trying to say. But Pico, He was preparing for Mosvar. And Mosvar grapple. Dominant grappler, dominant grapple wrestler. So I think he's gonna be prepared for that, because honestly I don't think Lerone Murphy has the type of grappling wrestling that Mosvar has. So I think Aaron Pico is gonna be pretty prepared for that part of the fight. And like I said, this dude's only seen the scorecards twice in his whole career. It's either he's getting finished, or he's finishing them, and KO or submission. But Pico by KO.
Yeah.
I think Pico, like I said, he's a really good prospect, coming into the UFC, and he's gonna give us a show. And what better way to do it but by a finish? So Pico by KO is the pick.
Yep. Man, I like it. I like your shot there. Leron Murphy, he's undefeated, and he looks to get a title shot with this win. I think if he does, there's no way you can turn him away. I mean, he's coming in as a short notice guy. He's either going to get the KO or it's going to go to the scorecards. He doesn't really play it out on the ground too often. His boxing is very clean. He beat guys like Josh Emmett, and he made Josh Emmett look pretty weak in that fight. Like I said, he did get clipped a bit though. He also fought Dan Ige. Dan Ige is another guy that
Dan Ige rocked him too.
Dan Ige likes to stand and bang, man. And so for him to put away those guys, on the scorecards and win the fashion he did, he's definitely a guy that is next in line for a title shot. He is stepping in to replace Movzar. Pico, he's another guy who's coming in kind of at an early stage in his career. He's coming from Bellator, same promotion that Michael Chandler came from, as well as Michael Venom Page, who is also on this card. He is a finisher, like you're saying. He's got violent knockout power, and he has 7 finishes in the first round. He does have submissions late in his fight, so he's always live for a finish, like you're saying. I just like Murphy here, man. He's undefeated, and at the value he's at right now, I think he can't beat it. He's an undefeated guy for a reason because he knows how to get the wins. And if he's at an underdog price, I think you can't go wrong there.
I don't blame you because that is kind of the smart choice here. Go with the dude who's already been here. He's already beat dudes. Top of his division.
Mm-hmm.
He's shown that he could dominate. I just feel like Pico's going to be prepared for this. He was already training for Mosvar.
Yeah.
And people were talking about Mosvar was going to go on and fight Volk, and that might be the next matchup.
You think he called out for a reason? You think they're like, hey, we're gonna slide you into this title bout now?
What better?
I'm calling you crazy.
Yeah, people were already saying, vote for Mosvar. So if Aaron Pico was preparing for Mosvar, I think he's going to be pretty prepared for Leron Murphy here. So,
all right,
Aaron Pico's the pick.
I like it.
And by knockout.
Oh, dude, guess what's next, man?
Yeah, this is it. This is it,
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the main event of the evening for UFC 319. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts on this card. We're going to be posting a lot of content this week. We're going to be pushing things on Instagram like shorts, pushing TikToks as well. We're going to get some polls up on Instagram later in the week. And we're also going to start working on getting polls on X. This is our first full week for you guys. Like I said, we're gonna be doing our best to get things out for you guys. So if you want to show us some love, go onto those social platforms, give us a follow, let us know how we're doing, what you guys think. With that being said, let's get into it. Z, we got DDP Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Boars Chimaev.
I got Boars, brother. I've been such a huge fan of Boars. And I am not going to change that. I always said I believe Khamzat, he's definitely a future champion. Just the way he's just been dominating guys, man.
Ragdolling.
The way he dominated Whitaker. People can argue about his gas tank, but I think people are mainly talking about his fight against Gilbert Burns. Khamzat is fighting at his weight class. He's fighting at middleweight, where he's most comfortable at. He's always had troubles cutting weight down to welterweight, and that fight with Gilbert Burns was a welterweight fight. So I believe Khamzat at middleweight, nobody can beat him there. But you got this fucking mountain of a man, Dricus du Plessis, standing in front of him. And that is what scares me. Dricus is just... At first, I didn't like Dricus. I'll be completely honest. I wasn't a fan of Dricus to begin with, but Dricus has grown on me. Dricus is what a champion is. He's what a champion needs to be, and he's what a champion is. A dude who fights anybody and everyone.
He called out Khamzat.
And exactly. He said Hamzat deserves this highly. He deserves this shot. I want Hamzat. Like, Dricus is what a champion needs to be. Someone who is not scared and will fight anybody. But this fight is it's extremely hard to look at. I mean, um, Dricus, like I said, he's not scared to take any level of competition on. You know, he's a tank. He's a real durable guy. But is he going to be able to wrestle with Hamzat? I mean, I know there's videos of Dricus taking on a whole Gracie Barra team and submitting all of them.
They're all tiny.
Exactly. You know, like
they're not grown men.
8 out of 10 of those guys were like half of his size. So
right.
I mean, you got a dude like Hamza Chimaev, bro, who's just picking up Li Jingliang, carrying him over to Dana White and telling him, "I'll kill everybody. I want anybody."
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude. But that's the thing, though, is if Hamza can play this fight smart, if he could fight this smart, and he doesn't gas out, you know, Hamza, I feel like Hamza can outwork DDP, tire him out, and just finish him. And I think it's going to be Boris by sub.
I like it. Yeah, Hamza, he's 14-0, guys. He's definitely the most feared guy. He's the boogeyman of this division. He ragdolled Whitaker, Holland, and he won decisions against former welterweight champ Kamaru Usman. And you know, he shoots out like a rocket in the first, and he tries to get the opposition out quick. His grappling is elite. You know, I don't think anybody has any question about that. His gas tank, on the other hand, is the big question mark, as well as his health going into this fight. He's a guy he's a guy who's canceled bouts because he's gotten sick in the past, whether it was because he was cutting down, you know, an extra 10, 15 pounds to get down to welterweight. You know, who knows? He has been training with Arman Sarukian, getting his cardio dialed in, as well as you know, working on grappling, of course. On the other side, we got DDP. DDP. Every time I bet against this guy, he proves me wrong. You know, when he put out Izzy, I thought there wasn't any dude that would stand a chance. But then I realized that, you know, he's got a guy like Hamzat Chimaev that's about to be in his face. You know, DDP, he's a finishing machine. He's also a cardio machine. You know, he's got plot armor. That's kind of the running joke. Guys like him and guys like RDR, you know, guys that just look super unorthodox, but they're just always in your face and they're always going to, you know, go to war with you. We saw him fight Sean Strickland twice, took him to the scorecards twice, and just won both times. Looks like a freak. You know, he's just going to keep coming at you. He put away guys like Izzy, he put away guys like Robert Whitaker early in their fights too. I mean, it wasn't no late thing, so you know, we could see just a total, you know, car collision here with these guys early in this fight, because, you know, like I said, Hamza is going to want to come out here quick. That's probably his game plan. Try and get DDP to the ground, test that grappling, see what's up, see you know, it's gonna probably play out in the later rounds though. That's how I feel about it. But I think Boris is going to be doing enough here to outlast DDP and get him out of there. I also have Hamza by finish. I'll take the sub shot as well. Hamza by sub. He is the favorite in this bout. So if you guys are looking for a good dog here, you know, like I said, I've always been wrong whenever I bet against DDP, and having him at a dog price, you can't really beat it. But
he's the champ. He's the dog. I mean,
yeah.
But
go Boars.
This fight though, yeah, go Boars. Boars, this fight though, man. I mean, every time I see Hamza, I just think violence, dude. I just think just absolute violence, bro. And Hamza is the epitome of that.
Yeah.
I mean, Hamza, I like to watch clips of Hamza, and like there's this one clip of Hamza where his coach is just talking to the dude recording, and Hamzat's in the back corner just doing jump ropes, and his coach is like, this is we've already done our 4th training of the day, and Hamzat can't sleep, so this is where he's at right now, and just sitting there in a room with a full tracksuit on, just doing jump ropes, you know, just talking to himself, just saying, you know, I'm the champ, I'm the greatest, I'm better than these guys, you know, these guys are too slow, I'm the king, I'll kill everybody, you know. So just Hamzat's mindset, man, and the way he carries himself. I think Hamzat's gonna just murder DDP here. But I don't know. Like we said, DDP got plot armor, and I guess we'll see though. But both these guys are undefeated in the UFC.
Yeah.
So someone's undefeated record needs to go.
Someone's O's gotta go.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for this fight. Extremely excited for this fight.
Yeah. Anything else you guys see?
No, I mean that's it.
Guys,
Boards is gonna kill it.
Yeah.
It's literally lion versus wolf here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, guys, with that being said, that's it for the Cozy Talk show today. If you are betting on this card, we're gonna have a betting video here later in the week as well, where we go over our picks and our predictions again, and get some parlays out for you guys.
We're gonna have more parlays this time.
Yeah. Pay-per-views are where we cook. We're also Z and I are also gonna be getting together. We like to get together for some of these pay-per-views, some of these bigger ones. So we'll try and get some content out on Saturday on fight day, some IRL content. So keep an eye out for that as well. So with that being said, guys, we're out of here. Stay cozy.
Appreciate it. If you stayed this long and watched the video, we really appreciate you. And,
yeah, as always, guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we do love criticism.
Mm-hmm. We do. You can't hurt me.
Yeah, you can't hurt us. We've heard worse on the job site.
Yeah.
But other than that, stay cozy, and we appreciate you guys.
Peace, guys.